If people want to come and sit in this space, they will naturally find that space. If people want to get things out of what I have to offer, they will do it when it feels right to them. I don't have to be this sticky, weird salesperson and have like this 6 email outline on how to like nurture my audience. And I think having my call to action be to just simply show up authentically. First, show up. Second, do it with an authenticity that I am proud of. And at each stage, it's okay to say, I'm learning this new thing about myself, or I'm learning this new thing about my business. That those are the parts and pieces that someone, whoever she is, will be able to resonate with that.
You are listening to That Big CEO Energy, where we talk all things business, life, marriage, and push you to a new edge of discovering what that big CEO energy means for you. Listen, I understand that we have barriers that we carry from when we were once employees, and those have impacted us as we continue to build our businesses. I'm here to walk alongside you and give you encouragement through interviews with friends and other women in business who have broken down those barriers and paved their own way. Tune in with me as we uncover some of the unconscious things that we do that keep us from building that big CEO energy we've always dreamed about. Let's dive in. I've said it before and I've said it again that listening back to my coaching episodes and my sessions has just gassed me up in a whole new way that just continues to light my soul on fire. And so my hope is that this is exactly what they do for you. The first part of my 4th coaching session has been incredible. And when I listen back to it, I think, yes, that is exactly what I want to do. This is exactly who I want to be out in the world. And if people don't like it, they don't like it. And so we have pretty much Laura just opening up with the question of like, what is sitting with you lately? And I go on a soapbox, and I'm so glad that I did.
What is sitting with you these days about what we've been talking about and what you've been working on your side? What feels like it's kind of taking up your mental state? What's sitting with you?
You know, something really clicked in cheer camp the other day. It was very interesting, and thank you for calling on, on me to, round us out in the conversation, because I think I needed those words and just kind of to bring it home for myself too, that like these doors, they're not necessarily closed, right? They're creaked open, and like I can see the scary things ahead, especially with this journey. I can see that. And I can see sort of the hardship that I'm having right now in terms of not arriving, right? Not being there already.
Yes.
In order to be able to serve whoever it is that needs to be served with what I, want to put out into the world. And so that was just really nice for me to bring home, in the sense of not necessarily from the friendship space, but like just from the perspective of other people, right? Like if people want to come and sit in this space, they will naturally find that space. If people want to get things out of what I have to offer, they will do it when it feels right to them. I don't have to be this sticky, weird salesperson and have like this 6 email outline on how to like nurture my audience. And I think that having my call to action be to just simply show up authentically. First, show up.
Mm-hmm.
Second, do it with an authenticity that I am proud of. And at each stage, it's okay to say, I'm learning this new thing about myself, or I'm learning this new thing about my business. That those are the parts and pieces that someone, whoever she is, will be able to resonate with that. And if it feels good to them, right, then they'll make a move. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. And I think that part of my discovery here has just been with the showing up, like, don't harness it on an expectation that it's going to turn into this like business venture that is then generating hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
I think really my yearning of wanting to be out in the world is just to put information out there that is helpful because it's helped me. And so if it resonates with someone, that's great. One of the things that I'm just trying to start with first is saying the things out loud that I see, that I hear, that I experience, not from this, I've done this and I've showed up. And so let me tell you how to do it too. It's more of a conversation piece of like, yeah, we're in the trenches together. Like we are digging ourselves out of this deep work that has been ingrained and beaten to us from these stupid societal standards. And so let's just walk this journey together. And if it feels good, like, come on, come along. And if it doesn't feel good right now, that's okay too. You'll find me when you find me.
Yeah.
But I think it's getting rid of the notion that because I've had such a successful business literally overnight, I don't need to apply those same principles to starting this new adventure. I'm literally just showing up and taking up space. That's it. That's all I have to do. Like, am I continuing to grow? And through my own growth, if that resonates with people, that's totally fine.
So that's kind of interesting then, that it's for you.
I think one of the things that I have learned through this whole entire process is I have a yearning to be genuine. I have a yearning to just be raw and authentic and show up the way that I am in hopes that you will be encouraged to do the same thing too. One of the things that I remember thinking to myself after this call was, how do I do that? But I think now that I'm reflecting back on it it's not the how, it's what I'm doing right now. And so this next part, it takes us through kind of what I aspire to be, right? What I am thinking that I can be doing right now that is tangible, because it is really what my heart's desire is. So in this little segment, let's listen to what I have to say.
I don't want to just be the person that's giving the step 1 through 5. This is how you do it. I want to be authentic and share the experience that I've had to help people understand how you arrived there. And that is a really scary, scary thing to take on, because that is not what society says is right. That is not, people get really uncomfortable when they're asked to show up in spaces like that. But I, through watching social media or even being a freaking TikTok, I'm like, y'all, get off the same bandwagon as everybody else. Okay? Like, get out your shovel and your paver and start paving your own freaking lane. Because that's where the beauty is. Like, that's where you finally find yourself. It's not in this 4:30 a.m. routine that everybody's like doing on TikTok. Like, you don't have to get up at 4:30 in the morning if you don't want to. Who cares? Are you productive?
What would it feel like for you if you were at the part where you had expanded your comfort zone and you felt like you could just share and talk and people are resonating and connecting with what you're saying, and you feel like you are already authentically communicating your message and your beliefs, and you are helping and supporting other people. And it feels like you can do it freely. You feel like you can freely express. What would that feel like if you were already at that stage?
That would be the definition of success.
Mm. Ooh, that's good.
And I think it's because I'm willing to show up and be scary. Like, I want other people to know that they can do that too, that they can do that scary thing, whatever that is. I have seen on TikTok the trends going around of, COVID hit 3 years ago and, everybody's doing their comparison.
Right.
I was working in corporate 30 years ago, and you can do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just have to jump in. Like, come in, jump in the pool. It's cool here. Like, this is where the cool kids are.
And scary.
Doing your own thing, paving your own way, creating your own definition of success. That's where the cool kids
So
hang out.
here you are, and you are in this little box, and there's a door that's kind of slightly open to that box. And you're like, I want to get out there, right?
Yeah.
I want to get out of this so I can feel that expansion. My authenticity can flow through me. You said that's the definition of success. And here you are on the inside of the box, and you're trying to get your mouth as close to the opening, and you're like, guys, get out of your boxes. Come on out. Think of how much stronger your message is going to be when you get out of yours.
Yeah, I think it's just this radical shift of getting out of the box. Get out of the box, light a fire to it, and be done with it.
What does Kallai outside of the box do?
Oh, that's a really good question. I would say she is not afraid to show up in social spaces and take up space on her little corner of the internet. She says the really tough things that nobody wants to say, but everybody's thinking. She makes it okay for other women who are maybe tiptoeing on possibly being the black sheep. And they want to be okay with that, but they don't know how. And she helps people get out of their box because she's already out of hers.
What's different about life today for the version of you who is on the other side of that, feeling free to share and do the depth of work that you're craving? That craving it's coming out. You can hear it. If you listen back, you'll hear it. It shows up, and our hearts are saying stuff to us all the time, like little nudges and curiosities. And it's funny how it starts to come out. And when it first starts to show up, it's like, well, I had this crazy dream that I had this, sometimes I think I have this crazy idea. And it's like, that's the first time that gets spoken. Every idea needs a moment where it can be kind of breathed into this world by being admitted and shared. And so if you were at the part where that's already happening, what is different about your life then now?
I think the difference then now is that I'm authentic, that I'm true to myself. I'm not following in the path of even what my community thinks is proper. I live in a very interesting community where it's like all sunshine and roses. We are just not diverse, and we are so far behind. And so there are a few individuals that, are sort of this radical, what our community would call radical people. And it's like, do I then, right, dare to be one of those? And, my family has a lot of anchor in this town. And so I think that's the piece of what's different then after sort of getting out of the box is I'm not, I'm not falling in line with everyone. People will know then sort of where I draw my line in the sand.
I'm going to have you say a bunch of sentences that are in the same kind of structure. And it's going to be, I want to feel blank.
Okay.
Okay. But before we do that, I'm going to ask you, are there people that you're seeing that are doing this well right now? When you think of what it is to, and I wrote this down. I love that you said, do I dare be one of those people? Do I dare be one of them? Oh, if that's not a calling and a whisper from within that's showing up with a good quote, I don't know what is, but do I dare be one of them?
This next part was a beautiful exercise, and I am sort of including the pre-context for how we arrive at these statements, but I want everyone of my community, whoever is listening, to do this. What do you want? What do you want to feel? What do you want to be encouraged by? And as you listen to my statements, and if you see yourself in those, I want you to continue listening, because there's some homework that I think we all could get on the same journey with.
That's the embodiment is I want to really, really channel. I'm showing up the same way in every space that I take up.
Yeah. That's where we're going to start. I want to feel, and I want you to say a bunch of them.
I want to feel like myself. I want to feel welcomed in my body. I want to feel loved in my soul. I want to feel peace. I want to feel joy. I want to feel like my work matters beyond the keyboard. I want to feel empowered to do this work. I want to feel like I can take up space. And it's okay. And I want to feel what success means to me, not what society says it has to be. And honestly, I just want to feel.
When you think of all those things, what clarity does that bring you about what is the next chapter that's unfolding for you?
I think the next chapter is to really spend some time in a notebook, maybe writing to her, whoever she is. And she meaning like when I feel like I've arrived, right? What are the things that I've worked through? What are the things that have shown up for me that I have walked myself through or sought help for in different spaces? Because I think then those are all the little bits and bobs that I can pull out and then take up this space and share my message with the world. But I can't do that if I'm just like ruminating it in my head. I think that's a really good start and a really good canvas to be able to, even though I haven't arrived, I can still paint the picture of how she has arisen.
This word arrived implies there's a place.
Right. I wouldn't say that it's a place. I would say that it's a feeling. I would say
and it
that
feels like feeling like yourself, feeling welcomed in your body, feeling loved in your soul, feeling peace, feeling joy.
I think that's the space that I dare, right, to be like those. And there's tons of those that, we see out on social media and you're like, wow, she is bold and she is like fierce. And even though, right, there is always an illusion on social media that like part of that is not real life because she has done a shit ton of work to get there. She has, she's still working on it, right? But just to get to this place of doing that all of the time and having in between all of that time still sharing that vulnerability, still sharing not the steps 1 through 5 after we've arrived to this place of topical, you can do it too, but like sharing the step 1 and what we're working on and spending time there, and then sharing the step 2. And even though I'm not saying blatantly, this is step 1 through 5, it's just the journey that you put other people on with yourself.
Well, you
You
also
know,
are allowing someone else to be in their journey by showing yours.
right. Because I'm willing to show up and be scary, like I want other people to know that they can do that too. That they can do that scary thing. Whatever that is. You just have to freaking jump in. Like come in, jump in the pool. It's cool here. Like this is where the cool kids are. Paving your own way. I want to feel like myself. I want to feel welcomed in my body. I want to feel loved in my soul. I want to feel peace. I want to feel joy. I want to feel like my work matters beyond the keyboard. I want to feel empowered to do this work. I want to feel like I can take up space. And it's okay. And I want to feel what success means to me, not what society says it has to be. And honestly, I just want to feel. I think the next chapter is to really spend some time in a notebook, maybe writing to her, whoever she is. And she meaning like when I feel like I've arrived, right? What are the things that I've worked through? What are the things that have shown up for me that I have walked myself through or sought help for in different spaces? Because I think then those are all the little bits and bobs that I can pull out and then spill them out into social media and begin to take up this space and share my message with the world. But I can't do that if I'm just like ruminating it in my head. I think that's a really good start and a really good canvas to be able to, even though I haven't arrived, I can still paint the picture of how she has arisen.
Thanks for tuning into the show today. If you heard something that helped you, I would love it if you would leave a review and share it with your friends. This helps more people just like you become inspired to move the needle of their big CEO energy into a positive direction. If you would like to learn more about how I can help you streamline and position your business for growth or lead your business as a CEO, feel free to jump into the show notes with all of the links to find me And don't forget to head over to Instagram so we can be pals.